Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. We took a little long to get the stream started, and everyone paused out. As it turns out, but we are here. In any event, it turns out that this does not advertise our rapid and classical team as well as others. I mean, we do have a few new members, but in reality, we really should have even more members joining each week. And the Lichess Swiss allowed that to happen. So it looks like we're going back to Swisses. As much as I love the arena format, the Swiss format is relatively priceless. Perhaps I could start with an arena, finish with an arena, do an arena like everyone else does immediately afterwards. Maybe do a bullet arena. I think that arenas work best with faster time controls. Waiting forever for a game doesn't work so well. So we could do the arenas Monday through Friday. That team has no issues collecting new members. We are celebrating 40 years of teaching chess. Years of teaching chess. Unbelievable. I am looking for an overlay with hotspots. Not unlike how Twitch does it. But for an overlay to have Twitch spots, I mean, to have hotspots, it would have to be embedded in a web page. Obviously. 11 Sion. Were you in the arena? Let's just do the current URL very quickly. Could be very dry this morning if everyone really has come and gone, because I was 15 minutes late to the stream, or 15 minutes late to the arena. Or 20 minutes late to the arena if we've been streaming for 5 minutes. We can probably bring this to a close and do a simul on weekend mornings. Simul people are not usually arena people.
Slow. Said. How's things, John?
Good morning, Rogan. Things are not great. The missus is under the weather. I am on full Anakin duty, which is somewhat demanding when you're not able to share it. It's been rough, and I'm hoping that I don't get sick 2 weeks away from Singapore. So I'm a little bit walking on eggshells, as it turns out, trying to get more rest. The lessons seem to have gotten later in the evening as the school year's gone on. I don't know if because the clocks fell behind if that's the reason why parents are taking advantage of this and students are taking advantage of this, for those who are old enough to work on chess by themselves.
Kingslayer
How are things
Sloan
with you?
said, Skywalker is hard to control. Remember to take some Visi and other supplements.
Yeah, that's all I can do. I'm hoping that it lets up today so that tomorrow... Obviously, I'm taking him to school tomorrow. But all of the other features of taking care of the little one, I'm going to have to manage. I don't necessarily know how long it will take for the missus to recover, so it's tricky.
Kingslayer Sloan said, I'm a little confused and out of sorts, but other than that pretty normal.
I've always known you to be a little confused and a little out of sorts. Were you streaming this morning, sir? I have not been paying attention to the other streamers on Twitch. Late last night I got on briefly because I needed some me time, as it turns out. And because I am late to the stream, it seems as though people blustered through their events, their games, right? Like Elra Chess and Satam, both of them berserk, right? So that means that their games are much faster than the usual games. How did Waterset lose this game?
Kingslayer Sloan said, streaming is meh right now.
Really? I am enjoying it more than ever, to a good extent. See, even in this particular instance, I'm very tempted to try to go for either bishop to b6 or bishop to c4, and or use the open file if I can get it. But he did capture the pawn. Then he walks into another pin. No! He had to step carefully. He had to step very, very carefully. And again, he had to step carefully, if this were going to be the case. But instead, he actually walked into another pin, and the opponent didn't see it. But the opponent is threatening check. So that gives us a chance to sacrifice the exchange. Maybe he was getting out of it. Oh no, he wasn't getting out of it. He was definitely not getting out of it. He's getting out of losing a piece, though, it looks like. But he wasn't getting out of losing the exchange. Let's see if he notices that the g6 pawn is hanging. He did not really notice it, to be truthful. What? And now he could have taken. That was key. And then given the check. But he gives the check first. And then he can take. Why are we not taking this pawn? Tell me why, tell me, sweet little wise. Tell me why, tell me, sweet little wise. It's like Bugs Bunny. And he survives it all. Can you believe that? He survives it
said.
all.
He chose to spare the poor bishop.
So how do we lose this game? How do we lose this game? All rook endings should be drawn. Oh yeah, it always helps to check your king forward into the center in an endgame.
How are you doing today, Sensei?
So we exchange all the way from a winning position down into a drawn endgame. I'm doing very okay. And then we transpose into a lost king and pawn ending. Could he have just kept on going? He could have given a check. Whoops. In this position. He could have just A, taken the pawn, or B, given a check and then taken the pawn. Wow, moving without thinking. Arenas take a special... a very special treatment. Darkblade, good morning. Let's get a French Bishop Chesscast link out there. Yes, it's not completely extinct. It's just unfortunately on hold because of IRL. IR effing L. Effing L. C'est la vie. Is there a rapid arena that we can join? Maybe. The problem is that there are a plethora of rapid events that we can do. For a moment I thought I was qualified for the under 2000 Blitz Arena. Or the under 2000 Rapid Arena. That's the main benefit to some of these things. Oh, the end of the hourly Rapid Arena.
CB yesterday about Packer bad policy on live ratings not being used correctly. May need to say something has happened multiple times.
Bad policy on the live ratings. Good morning, DG Road. What happened? They don't want to use the official ratings. They only want to use the live ratings. But they only want to use the live ratings as of a certain date.
Grode said. They use it to downgrade players if they go below a cutoff.
Oh yes, that is true. That is true. That is unfortunate and true. So here, we have the mighty Ron Hay. Against knight f3, we are not even close to finishing or zeroing out a knight f3, but we are close if we play the move g6.
Grode said. It basically puts the player on pins and needles all month if they enter.
Yeah, once you're over a certain rating, they should use your peak live rating. That would be relatively ideal. Peak live ratings. But it is, of course, entirely up to them. Obviously. So let's see here. I think I have to capture, or do I just play bishop f5?
Said.
Let's see how
Well,
this goes.
It's peak live rating, or if your monthly supplement is normal, then okay.
He's threatening to get a space advantage. Wow. I don't need to play that move. I don't need to play that move at all. You just need to batten down the hatches on the king's safety part. Let's cross our fingers. I actually do wish to sacrifice a pawn, even though it's Ronahey. Even though it is Ronahey, ladies and gentlemen. And he doesn't go with it. He does not go with it. Ron is too generous. I don't actually see the benefit. But we're going to continue to try to sacrifice the pawn. We played 609 games, Ron and I. 609. This is the 610th game. Not sure if, because Eva is under the weather, I did have a particular plan in mind with g6, but let me mark g6 down for knight f3 before I forget. We are now at 5 g6s.
Road. Said. HC 1-5 out of 3 at Kings Island U 1700.
One and a half out of 3, not bad. E5, bishop e7. What am I going to do about this one, right? So, knight takes. Ron is being very kind. He doesn't need to be that kind. Did I? get all dynamic and stuff. Such a bummer that his king is actually better than mine for the moment. Well, I'm happy that Ron Hay joined. Namaste, Ron. Alexa, turn on Master Chess. And now he's got the queenside pawn majority, but is the pawn majority an advantage? At all.
Grode said, Nico has signed St. Louis Masters event. Happy for him. I know we will have complete buy-in rest of year. We still have 3 seniors going to grades.
Nice. A5, knight B3, B4, not quite. His knight is just as restricted. Dum da dum dum da dum. That was a very cleverly executed at intermezzo. He may have more. Bum 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 bum. And now for something completely irreverent. I don't think I have a choice, or do I? Dum da da dum. He creates an outside pass pawn almost no matter what. Dum da da dum. Dum da da dum. Dum da da dum. And now for something completely indifferent. One natural move is all it takes. One natural move. Let's be extra cautious. Let's be extra cautious here. Bum ba da dum. Yep. In an arena, you get rewarded for resigning. I was very lucky that Ron made that natural c5 move. That should not have happened. Namaste, Ron. So how many players are allowed in the St. Louis Masters event? How many Masters are going to the St. Louis Masters?
Grode said 60.
60. What is the rating cutoff for the St. Louis Masters, or do you have to receive an invitation? This is so weird, right?
Said. It feels like a lot going directly from Charlotte to STL. Grode. Said. It's invite only.
Makes positive that it's invite only. Yeah, that's what I thought. That was a rhetorical question. So are they all Grandmasters, or are there some players that are going for norm chances? Obviously, Nico has achieved... Is Brewington eligible for St. Louis Masters? Or Tawny? I don't even know what Tawny's rating is.
Grode.
What is Tawny's rating these days?
I believe some juniors norms.
We really do need to have a good working relationship with them, despite their previous troubles.
Grode.
So here we go.
Yes, Brewington told me months ago about this event.
We need one F4. We've rounded off our F4s. Can I do this? We're going into a Gurganidze system. Let's see if Black knows the Gurganidze system. Well, that was very kind of him to put his pawn on h5 and then trade light squared bishops. We are going to play for a very specific purpose here. I want to play for c4. I have to remember that.
The Luminous Watchers said, hello.
We now want to get to a position where knights are going to be favored. Knight to g4, knight h6, knight to g4. Not sure what my opponent was planning on that. What was my opponent possibly planning on that? He gave away a pawn? I mean, queen to b2 is not a fork. Can I go this way?
Jury Goose said, what in the world was played here?
One can only imagine. What in the world was played here indeed? We do wish to get on him. We don't have much of a choice, unfortunately. We don't want to lose a knight. Knight d6.
Jury
Queen
goose.
takes d6. C
Set.
takes d6.
Oh no, my queen.
C takes d3. Exactly. Jerry Goose, how are you? Good morning. Luminous Watchers, how are you? There are a lot of weaknesses in this position. Unfortunately, I have some of them. The b7 pawn is hanging. The f7 pawn is hanging. We will see where his king goes after, and only after. We have knight to g5, knight to e4. I only have 1:41 with no time delay. Wasn't that interesting? He is creating a bit of counterplay. I have no interest in helping him. So now I just have to work this out on my own to make sure that I'm not going to get hornswoggled after queen takes c4, knight takes c4, rook c8, knight d3. Yeah, let's just play it like we see it. So now it appears as though he has something, doesn't it? Doesn't it appear as though he has something? Whoops. I don't have a choice. I do have to sack the pawn back. Don't I not? Do I not have to sack the pawn back? He's getting it. That much is true. I'm losing a lot of pawns. It was very silly of me to try to berserk. But we got our last F4 in. Very silly of me to try to berserk. That was huge. But at least I did it against a question mark player. So against E4, I need
said,
1 G6.
What do you need to play as white and as black now? Knight.
Oh, a lot.
Said, so happy that Brewington got over 2,500.
Right? It is a glorious thing. We're all, of course, rooting for him. This is very sketchy on my part.
And John MacArthur.
Yes. Good morning. Alexa, turn on TV. And you can't find the remote. That's fine. I don't know where the remote is either. We need to put a little bit of an air tag on it. We need to put a little bit of an air tag on the remote. But I'll come in about 10 minutes. Yes. Yes. I cannot. All right, I'm coming. Love you. Bye. Alexa, turn on TV. And now for something completely indifferent. Will this work? I think not, but it looks good.
Prox not prox. Said, my friend is trying to beat him.
Where are you going, sir? Bishop D2? Knight takes D4?
Sprox not prox. Thanks for following.
Oh,
Good morning, Bubby. Yeah.
Sprox not prox. Said, I don't know if he can.
You didn't actually give me a chance to start the internet. You didn't really give me a chance to start the internet,
Sprox
you know?
not prox. Said, come on.
Can I go this direction? I need this to be working. So takes. It's looking a little sketchy for me. Yes, Anakin. I'm still here, by the way. I know. I said that I was coming. I'm in the middle of a game right now. You know how that is. You have been in the middle of a game before. Yes.
Sprox not prox. Said.
Yes.
Oh, he's done.
Can I go
Sprox
there?
not prox. Said. Brahma is gonna lose. Sprox not prox. Said.
All right.
Friend.
And now for something completely different. We only know what's happening. But he has this idea that is going to cost him. Wow, let me take it with check as well. Which is pretty crazy.
Sprox not prox. Said. 100 gonna lose white.
Now we just need our rooks in the game. Let's just keep him trapped to the best of our ability. You know, Alexa, you cannot turn on the TV while we are on the app
Sprox not prox.
on the home device.
Said. Bro.
Good morning, Sprox. Sprox. Good morning.
Sprox not prox. Said. He gonna come again. Jury Goose. Said. I'm curious, do you still have that video of your best game? Jury Goose.
I do.
Said. I wanted
The
to
playlist
rewatch it.
is right there. The playlist is
Jury
right
Goose.
there.
Said.
I actually
Yeah.
uncorked one of those. I uncorked one of those to win Nemo's Flex Friday for best game, but then she changed it to themes, and it's a little bit trickier to find a game with a theme. We'll only know in a minute if we are going to be able to catch up. Ron Hay and Think Nudif. Why is Ron Hay winless? Oh, because it's only his second game. We could extend the arena enough. So basically, my grandson has figured out how to call using the home assistant device any room in the house to find out where everybody is. Yeah, the game that I used was the Arthur Traldi game. Let me just click on that memorable games to make sure that it's there. Yeah, I used the part 3 game. And then there's the sacrifice of the rook for 2 pawns. I guess the great saves. Saving a game that you lost. And I planned well ahead in saving the game that I lost. It was quite something. I don't think that's a joke, by the way. Joking about your sexual preferences in this day and age is not cool. So I know he might have thought it was funny. Or maybe he thought it was cool. But usually people who are such things do not post them like that.
Knight said, "It's neither."
Exactly. So meanwhile, MD Night Zero, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see you, Chris. How are the little? I'm thinking you have two little ones, but I believe you have a daughter. I'm crossing my fingers that I'm not slipping here. When is our next event, buddy? I know my next event is Singapore, unfortunately.
Knight said,
Yeah, I thought so.
I have the one.
I hallucinated for just 1 microsecond. I'm like, wait a minute.
Correct.
It's not kids. No, but I really did. I hallucinated for 1 second. I'm like, wait a minute now.
Said, Singapore.
Singapore, indeed, yes. Singapore in 10 days. I'm leaving in 10 days. It takes me 2 days to get there and a half a day to get back. I'm going to leave Tuesday night and arrive Thursday morning.
Night said, awesome EE.
I know, I have to look into one of those streaming IRL backpacks. I can't, given all the expenses of this trip and whatnot, I can't necessarily afford it if I think it is what I think it is. I believe it's like a $1,000 backpack. So therefore, I might put it off, or I might piece it together. The streamer's backpack. It usually includes a wireless router to boost your signal. I don't know if it includes that. I believe that first you may buy the backpack, or you may buy the entire package for about, I think you get a discount of a couple $100 on the normal retail prices if you buy it like for $700 or something like that. It's crazy. But I realized that that's what I'm probably missing to be able to do the IRL streams.
I'm going to try to analyze all of the games.
Yes, yes, yes. Maybe we could do it together on stream. I've been looking for a guest host, Chris. Ron Hay, of course, yourself are at the top of the list. You're actually even a better prime candidate because you're young. Ron Hay and I are both, you know, we'll look like the Mechanics Chess Club. If you've ever been to the Mechanics Chess Club stream, it's 3 or 4 older members of the club thumbing along trying to figure out the streaming software and not really reading chat or doing something like that, you know, because they're not so proficient. They've gotten better, though. I think they've gotten better at reading the chat.
Knight said, LOL, but I'm much worse than you two, but I'll take it.
No, you're not. The banter that you provide just by being here, encouraging me to talk freely, is much better than me being in a vacuum to a certain extent. And in real life, IRL, as I've learned with Rogan, Rogan cannot stream Lee Chess. That's why he's trying to get me over to the to join the Empire. But I prefer to be a part of the Resistance. Where did I see you last? I think I saw you in... It might have been the chess.com stream. I'm not sure if it was the chess.com stream on what event just took place that we were watching. I didn't say anything in that stream, I don't believe, because I was doing work in the background. I'm furiously editing my Chessable book. And I realized that mammoth volumes are terrible. But I don't want to break it down too much. I do realize that I have a staging area in the course of another book that was also created, that I migrated all the variations to the one book that is shared with all students. And that's really what I should be doing. I should be doing both books, editing in the one, and then shoving all the material to the other book. Are we going to get another game? 10 minutes left. Moment of truth. Ron Hay is still fighting. 3 outside passed pawns to no passed pawns. And this looks pretty annoying. We're going to have to not have our king on the same rank as our queen. I might be playing Think Newt F. What did Ron do to deserve this? Egads. It looks like it was a marshal. Okay, so just a word of warning here. If your opponent plays moves that do not affect the center, then the immediate response is to take over the center, just like slap that center. If they play h6, if they play g6, and the only move that would not be said featuresque, the only move that would not be said featuresque is alright, as white. What am I closest to? I need 1 G3. So now I've rounded out G3 and F4. Zeroed them out. You can actually find... You can also look me up here under Opening Explorer on my profile. And then you can see everything that I need to zero out. For example, 519 on F4 and 229 on G3. So we're playing the sniper from both sides when we're playing G6. If you've ever seen this book, it's actually quite worth your while to develop these systems. It has an incredible anti-London system that I had completely forgotten about. Now, I believe... that this system was just played by me a moment ago, ladies and gentlemen, a moment ago, and I did not play it well. But at least Ron and I get to these creative moments. This time around, I may go in this general direction. Instead of knight e7. We are just going to trade off our knight and put our pawns on dark squares. This looks like it could be a free pawn. Oh no, it's not a free pawn. He's got the check all the way through. What a wise guy, right? What a wise guy. What a guy. What a guy. Ron, you're so tricky and clever. Oh, because of the knight. Because of the knight on d7, I can definitely go in this direction. My d4 pawn is hanging, though. Alrighty. Am I hoping? I don't get it. I'm going to have to find out what he means by this. He is getting something on this square. I'm positive of it. What it is, I do not know. But this queen is going to help defend in just a moment as well. F7 is weak. We have to capture in this direction first, because we need that weakness on e6. I'm sorry, and the weakness on f7, not to mention the weakness on f7. This is our 611th game. So takes.
Nice. Said. 2 legends of the dojo going at it?
Indeed. I'm tempted to give back the exchange and play rook f1.
Jury Goose said. I'm curious, do you think the WC match will be decided easily?
I do not. Give back the exchange and play queen takes. Or do I give back the exchange here and play rook? Let's give back the exchange here. Alright, so we have a much better endgame. But how much better is it? How much better is our endgame? I am offering him a wee bit of counterplay. Just a wee bit of counterplay. And now for something absolutely incredible. Can I? It's not as convincing as I once thought it was, that's for sure. Rook to check. King up. Now we have a passed pawn. Oh no, we didn't make it. That's unfortunate. We have the safer king. That's all we can write home about for now. We have the safer king. Had I berserked, would Ron have berserked? Yep. That looks pretty bad. C'est la vie, everyone. C'est la vie. But at least I improved my performance against the mighty Ron Hay. He's got me by about 60 games. Give or take. Namaste, everyone. I did notice that the pomp and circumstance of the arenas works better
Nice.
than the Swiss system.
A win in the books.
But he is pummeling me. Oh, he didn't make it to page 1. So 611 games. Picked up 2 more wins to nullify the last 2 that he got me. Oh, that was ugly. I remember that one. That was so ugly. Yuck. Were they both in the same one? No. Yeah, he slimed me on the first rank in this one. The Grab. Can you imagine this rook getting to C1? I needed a castle. Just give up the pawn because I have rook e1, d3, knight c3, rook e4. No, rook e4 is not possible. Yeah, I should have gotten it back. Had I castled, I would have been fine. It wants me to play knight a3. And then perhaps I save my bishop, my knight. This was a very ugly game, to say the least. Yeah, knight a3, and I'm probably better in that position. No, I'm still completely worse. What is this? Because of my rooks.
Pegasus Sway said, "Thanks for all the chess games, hope I can improve in the future. Looking wrong, don't know what it is, unfortunately. Have a nice weekend."
Well, let's look at our last game. In our last game, before you go, I know what I'm doing wrong. I am playing ridiculously. Up. To look at our last game. So in this particular position, I feel you should have just grabbed the space. Since you're black, you might as well have grabbed the space. I'm not entirely sure why you would defend. So what I tell all of my students is that when your opponent offers you an advantage, you should take it. And if your opponent is attacking you, should not just defend, like, please don't hurt me. You were trying to support a strong center as black, and since you're already black in this position, I feel like you should be asserting yourself. Now, playing d4 gives you a space advantage, at least, to compensate for being down in time and tempo. And the same thing happened the previous time when I played the sniper with black. White could have played d5. They chose to play the same way. Basically, if your opponent's offering you free material, do you not take it? So basically, I'm offering you a free space advantage. Do you not take it? To me, d4 is absolutely the right way to go about it. You can look up the sniper for both white and black. It's g3, bishop g2, and c4. And this is not the first time that I've played the same game back to back with both colors.
Said, tried linking into English with the gambit for black.
Yes, exactly. That's what you did. I once sat next to National Master Laura Ross when she was very young, and her opponent played a terrible move in the opening, and she seized all the advantages. She did achieve something of a clear advantage, and she ended up ultimately getting finessed and losing the game, and her father trots over and says, "But if you played this, this, and this, you could have transposed back into the main line of the Sicilian, i.e. a reversed English. And then I said to him, while I was playing my tournament game, because I heard him telling her this on the next board, because she was sitting adjacent to me, I said, her opponent made a mistake, and she tried to punish him for it. When your opponent makes a mistake, you don't try to transpose back into known territory. This is where knowledge of openings is a detriment. Knowledge of openings is a detriment and a crutch. If you are aware of openings, then you tend to want to transpose back into them or only go for those structures instead of seizing the advantages that you deserve. And if you try to transpose back into known drawn endgames, rather than playing a winning move in the endgame...
Wow, well said.
Thank you, Chris. No, I've been doing this for 40 years. I have often forgotten... I've often forgotten that. No, seriously, I know you know the English really well. And I know you have your repertoires against every opening. So when I create unclear positions, I think I've often done my best because I believe that your slight hitch, handicap, or faux pas, whatever you might call it, is that you tend to want to go into known structures for comfort rather than by playing for an advantage and just seizing the day and throwing your pieces at your opponent. One of the reasons my rating is so low is because I do throw my pieces at my opponent. I could care less. I'm just going to throw pieces at my opponent. I'm going to grab those advantages. I want to play with too much talent. Grandmaster Joel Benjamin told me, look, dude, this is too much talent. You got to stop playing for all of that stuff. You have to play principled chess, seize the advantages, lock down on the squares, take care of business. That's what it's all about. So for the most part, that is key. I don't know how well those last two came out. I'm going to check out that clip and see if we can make it into a TikTok. And the one before that, probably. I tried to clip the one before that as well. There's no guarantee that I got it just so. But in general, don't be afraid of playing chess. You are not playing this game to play openings. Try not to study the opening so much as appreciating the structures that you are learning those concepts within. That's key. I don't know how much that one came out. Let's try that one. Put both of those clips in there. I didn't put the first clip in, unfortunately. But on average, it does not look like I'm getting my grandson to martial arts this morning. I've already missed my window. I had to leave 5 minutes ago to get to martial arts on time. I feel terrible about it. Maybe I can try to arrange to take him on Thursday. I'm not sure what day is coming up. I have day 3 off of an 8-day schedule. Let's try to do a simul and round off some of these openings that I need as white. Just to get them out of the way so we don't play them anymore. How about that? Host a new simul. YouTube viewers, unite. YouTube viewers, unite. 5 plus 5. Uh, 50 minutes. 50 seconds. Members of Rapid and Classical. Estimated start time 10:30. And in the simul description, we will boost our French Bishop Chess Cast simul. Let's see if I can even find it. Uh-oh, I haven't done a simul in so long that I cannot find my simul description. That's not good.
Pegasus Sway said, "How long does it take before the opening library is ready if you choose yourself and as a black player?"
You have to go forward a bit. You have to go forward a bit. So I usually wait until it tells me how many players need to be added. This way, Luminous Watchers. I like this simul name. I do like this simul name. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment, if I can. And hopefully, just hopefully, I'll be able to get there from here. Where's my other Lichess? I have a different browser to be able to open up two browsers simultaneously. And under content, display, puzzle streak window. And then we'll see if we can bring up the puzzle streak window. Okay, we've got it. Now we need to shove the simul to one side so that we can bring up the puzzle window. So in the puzzle window, I'm basically going to show you where it needs to be. You go to any of your last games. I'm going to go to the profile of the previous games. And then we bring up our last game, for example. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? And basically, I will go to the beginning, open up the opening book. Oh, you have to go to analysis board, bring up the previous game, open up the analysis board, and you can already see the three dots. So if I go forward, it says indexing 23 other players first. And I usually let it sit on that screen, indexing 23 other players first. So even in this position, Ron, after the move d4, and this is actually a very popular this is also a very popular what do you call it? I need to get this, copy this URL to put the simul in. Update. Simul. Oh no. Oh no, it's not update. It is edit com. This way, when we type up simul, oops, if I can spell it right, then it should give the right one. This is the best way to build viewers. So apparently the 23 viewers have now been done. And then as black, no game found, means that my opening index has been updated. All right, puzzle streak, ladies and gentlemen. Puzzle streak. And we'll move the simul window to the left as it is there. We'll accept. We'll move this one over.
What should I remove?
Alexa, stop. This is not that difficult, right? Mate in one. I should have done it on the initial puzzle streak, interestingly enough. Are we outside the square?
Said. It says no lots found, but it keeps flashing like it's not done with the opening book as black.
Usually there are 3 dots across from Ronahea is black or Ronahea is white. Usually there are 3 dots circling. I go back to the very beginning of the game, then I go forward until it says X number of players. And then make sure you're the correct color, because you were black in that game. Ronahea is black. And then at the end, when it's done, your game and mine should appear at the bottom. I definitely did have a problem for days with the opening update not working. And then I lost about 20 games in Lichess. So you should download and back up your games frequently, because they restored from a backup. I'm positive of it. This is just a removing the defender, because these 2 pawns win by themselves. Anyone? Anyone? I believe this is also a removing the defender. It's rook f2, queen c1, and rook takes f2. But that doesn't seem like it's decisive enough, does it? Is that decisive enough in this issue? It's almost time for more coffee. And why isn't it mean, winning a pawn? Right now we're down 2 pawns in this position. So therefore, is it really rook takes f2? Is it really rook takes f2, rook takes f2, queen c1 check, king h2, rook takes f2? We're threatening queen to f4 check. The pawn is pinned. And that is mate. Alright, I don't see anything better. Anyone? I imagine that we're threatening enough with queen f4. But he can't seem to stop it. Rook to d3. And if rook to d3, then we get rook takes g2, queen takes c2, queen takes d3. And everything is covered. It seems. Or on rook to d3, is rook to f1 enough? Queen to b3 makes more sense. Rook f1, rook takes h6. That does make sense. Queen g3 no longer works. And we are threatening rook to h1 check and queen f4 mate. So he has no way of stopping that. This looks like a removing the defender as well. Anyone for the removing the defender?
Pegasus Sway said, consider changing the settings to include more games. Now I have changed the settings from 2013 to today.
Really? I wonder if that is my problem. I also wondered if, for whatever reason, I excluded bullet games or hyper bullet games for some reason. Let's head over for a moment.
Pegasus Sway said, it working this move e5 https Lycus or guard 1 f039 black 4.
Interesting. Hold. Steady. It doesn't look like it's working. I have played it, or I've played against it twice, playing d takes e5, and I played e4 in another game. Was I white or black? I was white. Yeah, I played e4. Whoops. Keep the simul active. Going back to your game. Whoops. Wrong. What happened to our music? It seems like you are hearing the music and I'm not. Uh-oh. Where did I switch to? Just chatting? One moment. Alright, so the music's back in my ear, at least.
Pegasus Sway said. The 3 dots are gone now, think that helped.
I would hope so. So in takeoff. Wow, Ron. Nice win. Nice win with the discovered attack. Because you're checkmating him. So I wanted to check my settings as white.
3 raiders from Ilyas plays
So, now
chess.
we're trapped in Fisher's
Have
mind
joined.
battling his own private army, and if we get killed,
Pegasus
we're
Sway.
lost in
Namaste, Ilyas.
Think he played as I want, came into a regular open.
We are doing a simul.
Ilyas plays chess said. Hey John, how are you?
What happened to Ilyas is gone. Your chess game recovered?
Ilyas plays chess said. Yes, LOL.
Ilyas is gone versus Ilyas plays chess. We are looking at in this last game what I could have missed. Yeah, E3, I almost castled here, which is also a clear advantage. But apparently there are 5 opening assessments in ChessBase now. But yeah, I thought for a long time on this one, and I decided to take it. A5, A4. A5, Rook A6, B6 ideas, going after the B2 pawn. A Rook A6, Rook to D6, trying to skewer through. I don't know if that works. Needless to say, bishop takes f6, knight on c takes d5 was correct. Bishop takes d5, it just keeps getting worser and worser. Knight to g6, bishop f6, knight takes rook. Wow, it suggested king to h8. So here, I really could have played e4, Bishop takes check, king moves. The pressure is still on. Because I have e3. And then e5. So yeah, e4, bishop takes d4, e3, bishop f6, e5. That would have been more to the point. I forgot that I had a second e-pawn. I thought I was actually losing time after the move king h1. And bishop h3 does not get rid of my rook because I'm going to replace it with another one after I capture on f6. And there's no defending f7.
Said, sorry I'm late.
No worries. What is your username in the simul, sir?
Arid Hakeproach. Said, do you do these simuls every Sunday?
Every other Sunday or sometimes every third Sunday. I'm taking my grandson to martial arts immediately after this, so I do not always get to but we were doing Puzzle Streak in this window. This was a removing the defender. And here, it looks like it's mate in 2, everyone. Mate in 2. I'll give everyone a moment to make sure that they can see the checkmate in 2. I do believe in identifying the themes of tactics, categorizing them, classifying them, and if for whatever reason you miss a tactic, categorize, classify that one, and that way you'll be able to find the theme later on. If anyone has not yet found it, we're simply doing what I like to call the funnel. When you push the king back with a series of rook checks, queen checks, rook checks, queen checks, and basically you can just shove the king, you funnel the king toward the other side. In chess.com parlance, they're calling it the kill box mate, which is a military term, and it is not my favorite. Primarily because the kill box mate is using vocabulary that in the United States we don't really need in our educational system, using kill or otherwise. So is this enough to win? Rook takes g4, removing the defender. Bishop takes e6, fork. Rook to f7, pin. And then we just need to get our pawns moving. Or centralize our king, one way or the other. It looks like it's enough to win. Black would have no pass pawns. White will have every opportunity for a pass pawn. With the rook on f7, we can wait because they really have no moves for 2 moves in a row. And as I said before, on rook f7, we can simply improve our position 2 times over. Bishop d4, trying to prod the pawn onto a weakened square that we can take it. You don't have to take a piece that is pinned. Sometimes it helps. This looks like a fork. Knight, bishop d7, knight c5, bishop takes e6, knight takes d3, bishop takes c8. Or bishop d7, knight c5, rook takes c5, free piece. Because the queen is hanging. Everyone here is more than 2,000. And now they're up to 9 in the simul. Kyo. The start time is listed for their time zone, right? Yes. But Aradak, Keith Onsky, how is the weather in South Africa? It must be getting warm. Another one of my favorite ever so lovely streamers. In case you've never checked her out, I'm checking her out all the time. Even though I'm not available. Let's do it, everybody. And I haven't given Kingslayer Sloan his shout out either. I'm way overdue for that one. And we have a French Bishop chess cast. All the links are here. So do we just do it? I know everybody's waiting for me to take advantage of this. I see no danger here. You have to check everything. Assume nothing. Queen takes b2, bishop d7. If rook to c8, then rook to d8 check simplifies, and we're up an exchange.
Len Nokyog said, hi.
Namaste, Lennox JHG. How are you? Are you from the Lennox area? I am FIDE trainer and National Master John MacArthur. I've been teaching chess for 40 years as of August 15.
Len Nokyog said, I'm good, you.
Pretty good. Didn't manage to win my own event this morning. You may join the dojo here. You may see the dojo tournament listings anyway by clicking on the word tournament on either of those pages. Tournaments. So here we are. We basically just have to save our rook before taking that one.
Sure I can.
So basically, once the rook is secured, we can capture the extra material. That theme of that one was, what's the opponent's big idea? And in this particular one, it looks as though there is a back rank weakness. So because of the back rank weakness, we have a license to be able to take this bishop. Rook takes and knight takes. So what is the story now? It looks like I usually call this a math problem.
Said, how much does training cost?
I have a fixed rate per month, and the sessions are usually less than 2 hours each, at least once a week, sometimes more than once a week. If we miss a lesson, I'll always try to make it up. And we will deal with mostly analytical and positional training. I will assign you work to work on tactics by themes. It's like, and of course, I can also help with some openings and repertoire questions. Basically, the only reason it appears that we cannot take this bishop is because they remove the defender, but we throw the in-between move in. Queen takes b6.
Kingslayer Sloan said, I've been saying John ya need to have a group lesson in the Discord.
I'll tell you what, if I knew that it would be financially rewarding, because I do chess teaching for a living, I would absolutely love to do that. But because I do chess teaching for a living, I'm hesitant to spend more time teaching outside of streaming. It just doesn't make equitable sense. So queen takes c5, queen takes c5, knight takes c5. The math problem here is that there just aren't enough defenders. And we have the in-between move, aka submission. So this could be the theme. And they don't list the themes here on the puzzle streak, unfortunately. 10:21, 9 minutes away for the simul. Thank you for checking in on stream, Lennox. If for whatever reason, I don't charge the exorbitant rate that I say on my profile coaching page anymore. Just because I love coaching and teaching from home. That rate is primarily the in-person one-on-one rate that I would always charge in the past before COVID. So I haven't amended my online statement. I think
Lenakyog said, I saw you on Simultan.
You did. It looks as though we can remove a defender with bishop takes f2. Or we can fork, which looks like the simplest way to go about it. Forking looks like the simplest way to go about it. Queen takes b2. Knight to a4. Queen to b4 check. And queen takes knight. Oh no, knight to a4 doesn't work. We're up to 13 in the simul. It looks as though we're getting everything back with a pin once we capture the rook. So this is a removing the defender of the square c5. And that way we took a rook, they're taking a bishop, but we are getting an advantage in material. In this particular example, which looks like a position from Judith Polgar, Ilya Smirin, we actually have knight takes a2, and if king b1, then we have knight to c3 check. So the real trick here is what happens on knight takes a2, king to d2. It appears that queen to b4 check or queen to a5, king to d3, and then queen to d5 check will be mate because knight must block, and then queen takes. And our opponent did not go for the toughest continuation, as is usually the case in many of these. So now this looks like a fork. Weakness on g2. Target on g6. Rook to g5. So how does he defend against this? He has no queen e8 check. It looks pretty good. So identifying themes, we have just checkmate in 2, as this pawn promoting only stops the mate for a moment. No, my rook! In cases like that, I often wonder whether or not we should call that theme a back rank mate when you have the king opposing the king. Uh-oh, 10:26. And we're at 25 on the puzzle streak now. I'm going for coffee. I'll be right back. Namaste. Let's make sure that we are on the simul window for 14. Then we will do. Everyone, please check in. Oh, my grandson is so smart. He made himself cereal. He found the stool to get into the new refrigerator. Puzzle streak window. Simul starting. All right, last call.
Kingslayer Sloan said, John, my computer is being a royal pain, so you were just about to answer my last statement.
Your computer. So I'm going to start from the bottom up. I need 6 H3s, 6 D3s, I can probably zero out my, I can do 5 B3s.
Kingslayer Sloan said, my computer froze bigly.
Oh no, that's not good. Alright, so I'm going to zero out the ones from the bottom up. I'm going to do 6 H3s. 1, good luck everybody. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 H3s. 6 D3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to get in 1 Knight F3. So we should have zeroed out H3 and D3. Alright, good luck everybody. We're going to play E4, E5, D4, D5. Knight F3. Going to play the bird's opening. In this particular instance, we're going to be playing the English opening. We're playing the bird's opening, bird's opening, bird's opening, bird's opening. Oh no, with H3 in? I don't think so. Could be tough. I could lose this immediately. I could really lose this immediately with the dark square weaknesses. I should have been answering D5 with D4 in all of those instances. We're going to be playing the reverse Sicilian with H3 in mind. And of course we're going to take over the center here. H3 is not in. Going to fianchetto, cover our king. Play a Dingler in. D5, fine. We can't let him have a pawn in the center. He's playing a reverse London of sorts. But that's okay. We'll continue with the normal setup. Knight F3.
Arid Hakeproach said, reverse English, reverse Sicilian.
And in this particular example, it looks like we have a 4 knights game. Continuing with the Dutch. Continuing with the Dutch theme. We can no longer play what we wanted to play. Looks like we have to guard our dark squared diagonal. Our opponent did not try to take advantage of the weakness. We're going to go into the Chigorin. We're actually going to try to embarrass that bishop now. And in this particular example, we need this. We're going into a reversed 2 knights defense. We're just going to continue on our merry way. As though this were actually the case. Let's just pretend like this is normal. I think there's a little bit of a math problem there, but maybe not. We're just going to continue developing our pizzas as needed. We're on the white side of a Sicilian to move down. There we go, and we're off.
Kingslayer Sloan said, "My computer hates the stream for some reason. I have not got editing for 5 minutes.
No, you have to refresh. You might have a Windows update. You may need to restart your stream, your PC. We're going to continue trying to develop our pizzas. That is our primary goal. So here, not sure what my opponent's up to. We have a space advantage. As much as I do not wish to exchange, I may not have a choice.
Pegasus Sway said, "Kingslayer Sloan, Control Alt Delete and turn off that you don't need to run."
Knight e5, e4, knight d2. Fair enough. e5. I don't have much of a choice here. And now for something completely indifferent. We don't have a white squared, he doesn't have a white squared bishop, so that's less of a worry. Queen f6. Oh no, I can't play it. That's awkward. So he has that capture and that capture and that capture. Fair enough. My opponent offers me a draw. Why would this be the case? Carlson Marat. What is the reason for the draw? I blundered, Sabkari. I blundered. That's the reason I put my king there. I did blunder. We can increase the size of this font so that people can see it. We're just going to castle. Oops, did I do that? I did do that. I hung a thing. And let's just put a rook on an open file. He did not take us. That's craziness. Fair enough. He did not take us. D4. Just keep up the pressure. Put our pieces on better squares. Hoping that we are not that much in trouble. Now we have a classical Sicilian, bishop d7 and a6. And queen to c7. e4. So he's overprotected c6. We're just going to play our way toward expanding in the center. So now, knight takes, or do we just bother him some more? Bishop takes, knight takes. Not sure what that guy's doing there. But okay, we're going to just continue to expand in the center. Now, e5, d5 is weak. b6 is weak. Knight f3, knight on d to e2. Knight g3. We do need that bishop to go away. And now for something completely indifferent. Takes, takes. d4, knight e4. Just grab the space. Knight takes, knight takes. Knight takes f7, e5. Bishop to c5 check. Let's just be very diligent about this. A little bit of a math problem here. I believe there's a little bit of a math problem. Is there a math problem here? Setting up the exchange sacrifice. Getting another center pawn. Way behind in time here. Going after the exchange. Knight takes, knight takes, knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes, knight takes, knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes, knight takes. Yep, this is what we set it up for. Taimanov-esque. A Taimanov-esque position.
Deep Wolverine said, "How do you not get distracted by the milliseconds?"
How do I not get distracted by the milliseconds? Fascinating. If I capture on c6 and he captures on e4. Oh, there are milliseconds on the screen. I'm only looking at the board. I don't understand. Pawn takes. So wait a minute now. Did we run afoul of this? The old-fashioned way? Knight takes, pawn takes. Pawn takes, knight takes. Alright, we're just gonna take it. This was the math problem on d5. And bishop g2. I really do want that d5 square. He doesn't have knight takes e4, but he did fall for it, unfortunately. So now we're going to reroute our knight to the other square, our bishop to the other square. He didn't play e4 like I thought he would. He does have knight takes e4, but knight takes e4 guards the bishop a second time. I don't have much of a choice. He's getting control of that square. c4, c4, dc4, knight c4, knight takes d3. Winning a pawn. We need to find a good square for that one. b7 is weak. Wow, we're still in the opening here. Now queen e1, knight b4, queen e2, knight takes, pawn takes. And now for something completely indifferent. Is he really going to play Is he really going to play e4? Queen takes e4, bishop takes c3. He might. He might actually do that. This was our whole purpose in life. Gaining time, weakening the long diagonal. d4. E takes d4, bishop to c4. Let's just continue along the same vein. We do wish to trade pizzas. I don't want to help him develop his pieces at all, though. We're going to keep him from developing his knight if we can. This was part of our plan to remove the defender of e5. Bishop takes, knight takes, e5, knight d5. So at least he's threatening knight to d4 now. C'est la vie. So knight to d7. Queen f3. So d4, knight takes d5. We're guarded twice. He's attacking it twice. We're just going to continue developing as per usual. While the math problem continues. So bishop d7. Rook e1, g4, queen e4, d4. We're going to just continue as though this were nothing at all unusual. Still striving for d5 square. And we've managed to achieve it. Pawn storm on that side of the board. Knight e4, b3. Knight to c3 was probably better, but he always had bishop takes c3. Now, is he going to meet d4 with e4? That is the question. Is he meeting d4 with e4? I don't know. Still can't do what I want to do there. Or can I? Bishop e3, knight takes e4. Yes, I have a little bit of a problem on my hands. I can't let him get control of the D file that easily. So now it's just going to continue with the weaknesses on that side of the board. He does get a pawn to beef. He does get a pawn break out of this deal. It's unfortunate. See if we can weaken his king side just a little bit. And now for something completely indifferent. Takes, queen takes, bishop d2. Book c8 does not make a lot of sense. He cannot break with c6.
Pegasus Sway said, BRB okay.
d4, e4, queen takes, g5, d4, e4, queen takes f4, g5. It was more or less exactly what we wanted out of the deal. restricting his pawn breaks if we can. A5, B5? I don't think we have much of a choice. And now, how do we go about weakening his pawns that much further? First things first. Queen E8. Knight A5, B4, CB4. A little slow. I thought he was taking back with the queen. So he takes back with the pawn, not allowing rook to D8. Isn't that interesting? Now he has knight D7, B6. That's alright. We're trying to get our stuff into the center as well. And is B5 a good move? Why am I attacking with my king in the center? That is the real question. This was the point. So now F4. F4, F5. I don't know what to take first. I have to take this bishop first to prevent knight to b6. Then we're just going to keep attacking the white squares as best we can. It's got g6. Got knight to b6. Chess. But now he does have bishop takes h3. That's annoying. The d4 is still on the cards. Did not understand that one.
Len
Hopefully I'm
Nakyog
not just losing here.
said, could we analyze the game after?
B5, C5. Keeping the center closed. What is his point? Knight A5, B4. Yes, we can analyze the game after. Absolutely. What happened? Are we okay?
Len Nakyog said, thanks man.
F7 is weak. F6 is weak. D4 is no longer weak. So he's sacking the exchange and trading queens. He does have knight to d4, but we have the ability to extract him. Yes, yes. This is so true. We knew it could happen. Yes, indeed. Now, I wanted to play g5. Rook takes g5. D takes e4. It's definitely not worth it. Rook takes. Queen moves. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we have to play this move, but maybe it's okay now. We'll know just how we can attack it. Just so our opponent did not pay attention to the discovery. We're up a rook. As much as I wanted to play knight h4, knight takes d4, queen h5. We'll see how this happens here. This was part of the exhibition. Knight to c4. Where is he going? I do want his knight to feel it. I don't really know. Do I have time to do what I want to do? Who knows? It's true. We've got another knight coming in that square, and now we can chat. It's a free pawn, right? But I can't play d4. I cannot play d4. Let's take the freebie. Because we need a square for our bishop. So now
56 raiders from
So now we're trapped in
Alexandra
Fisher's mind battling his own
Samaganova.
private army, and if we
Have
get
joined.
killed, we'll be lost in limbo
Namaste,
for the rest of
Alexandra. How are you? We're in the middle of a simul here. It's great to see you. One of my truly favorite, kind, sincere, and ever so lovely, earnest streamers in action. Can't believe there's only one Grandmaster from her country. I've produced one Grandmaster as a FIDE trainer. Make sure I get her name right. How are you, Alexander? How was your stream? I play a lot of unorthodox openings. So, D3. Queen B3. How am I getting him here? Let's choose another game for a moment, because we know what's happening in this instance. Knight to h4, queen h5.
Len Nakyog said, "Are you
A little bit of a
Grandmaster
math
or
problem
National
here.
Master?"
I'm only a national master, unfortunately. I'm a FIDE trainer. I think the about has me born in Denver. So what is the story here? And are my dark squares truly weak? Are my dark squares truly weak? Bishop takes, queen takes, queen e2. I guess we will find out. So now I have to make a decision here. Queen to d3. I somewhat wanted the h6 square so that the g6 pawn would be weak, but I don't think that this is a really good idea anymore. Queen to b3. I just don't think it's a good idea anymore. I'm spotting my opponent a tremendous amount on that side of the board.
No words said, "Hello there, Sensei. I'm lost. Which way to Twitch?"
Which way to Twitch? How are you? Good morning, no words. In the house. This one is still a perplexing problem. We're going to go with the next one, which is obvious. I don't know what he was planning on doing. Knight takes f4 as a discovery. That's what I assume that he was after anyway. So if I play rook to d1, but I feel like his knight is very close to being hornswoggled here. Knight to d5. Where is his knight going? And what does it all mean? How do I get to the f7 weakness? The b7 pawn is in the lurch. How do I get to those weaknesses? I feel like I'm on the verge of not being worse.
No words. Said. I'm good, and you?
Excellent. Is it getting warm there? Best chess player 312. Namaste. Nice to meet you. Let's just improve our position, and we will worry about trying to capitalize on anything later. We still don't have an answer for this one. And we're going to throw in the capture on the queen. Is that what we're going to do? We want the knight on that square first. We do want the knight on that square first. Because we want to embarrass him with knight d5. Alright, we're back. Let's just solve our opening problems. g5 was our original intention. What is the worst that could happen here? We've got a nice bind on that one. Knight takes d5, queen takes c5. Knight e3 is happening. Let's just secure our e4 square. Our d5 square, I should say. The Pillsbury-esque attack. And here he moves his king away, which would have happened anyway. We have more pawns where that one came from. Now we're going for it. H6. HG4. If we're going to lose a game, that's the game we will probably lose. Rook takes f6. C takes d4, E takes d4. We're just going to continue improving our position. So is f7 still weak? Is it weak enough? Got such good control over all of these squares. Knight g5, h6, e5. Knight to d4. Knight to b4. Queen to c3. Bishop c4. Let's just keep him honest on the rook while we're at it. So our plan was knight to d5. Alright. Is he really going to exchange his good bishop? Is he? Is he really going to exchange his good bishop? So knight takes d5. E takes d5. Rook takes d5. Knight to b4. Rook a5. I don't really want to resolve that one at all. Knight to b4. Knight to d4. I guess I don't have much of a choice, but we have an excellent endgame, so we should just take it. d5 is still not in the cards. Yes, yes. So now material's even, right? Our king is extremely exposed. H6, E5. This is our plan, right? H6, E5, HG, FG, takes, 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 takes. What about bishop takes? And then he has bishop d4. Yeah, we have to follow through on our idea. With or without it being a good idea, we have to follow through on the idea. We have to follow through on the idea of breaking through. H4. Queen H6. Queen A6. Wow. That's craziness. Fair enough. That works. Rook to G7, Queen H5, Knight F5. Gotta keep going. My opponent's offering me a draw? Why? Why are you offering a draw? I have to ask that question again. So he didn't play the move I thought he was going to play. Is he waiting for me? My bishop is a little bit offsides. He's going to double rooks. He traded. We need defenders. Does that not work? It doesn't work because he has rook takes d6. That's unfortunate. We've gotten to the f7 square. He's going after my rook. Is that important? If we can survive this, we'll be very okay. He's got rook d2, but he has a back rank weakness. Where is he going from here? I do not know. Wow, he didn't take it. I miscalculated a lot. Do have to take. And the winner is h6 is now weak. c5. e4. f4. First things first, we have to take advantage of the pseudo pin. And now for something completely different. Knight takes d4. Yes. Got f5, bishop g5. Awkward, but we'll take it. Defending everything, right? I have to get everybody out. Rook takes f7. Feel the bishop has to move. Is my queen protected? I don't know if my queen is protected. That's a good question. So first things first, we capture. Bishop e4. Queen h5. Knight f7. Queen h5. Rook takes. And he didn't take. He just developed. Because he's hoping for bishop c3. Rook takes d4, queen takes d4, rook moves. Queen e5. Waiting for him to choose. Now for something completely irreverent. He took on e4. We have another one where that came from. Check. So now rook takes f6. Rook g takes f6. Queen to g4 check. What is he capturing here? We're a pizza up, right? f5. Check. He does have that. e5, g5. Could have a lost endgame. Alright. Check, 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 check. His knight's covering everything. I'm about to lose all these games on time. What else is new? What else is new that I'm going to lose these games on time? My opponent offers me a draw. Que pasa? Rook to d8, rook to d7, bishop takes c5. Yeah, I might lose that game on time. But I'm not planning on it. Let's just go for it. So now, rook g5. Queen g4. Queen c3, queen a3, queen b3. I can't stay on it. It's very annoying. Here a check, there a check, everywhere a check, check. Up the exchange. For what it's worth, I am lost. Knight d5, knight f6. Let's just try to get something going here. Am I losing that e4 pawn? I might be. We have two rooks in the 7th. Bishop takes. It's a fork, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fork. Queen c7.
Len Nokyog said, I blundered a piece, ha ha ha.
He did. Takes. And now for something completely indifferent. Queen takes h4. Did he get me here? Rook takes, king moves. Bishop h7 check. Rook takes. Queen takes. Alright, fine. If he got me, he got me. My opponent offers me a draw. Yes. 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 Only game going? Saab Corey. This is the irony that is. Oh no. This is the irony that is. No, I'm sorry. We're the only game going, sir.
Darkblade said,
We're not
should have
losing.
not skipped bullet training.
Did you succeed in that? Check, check. Yeah, it's probably a draw, but why don't you try to win? Safer king. I was very lucky.
Darkblade said, "That's what."
Best chess player 312. Have we made it yet? We made it to our 20 gifted subs. Nice. Our 5 gifted subs.
Len Nokyog said, "GG."
I'm about to win on time. You're the only one that announced that you're about to win on time. And I would have gone to the 8th rank had he played King 8-6. My king was on a terrible square. Who was it that wanted to look at the game? Tell me now.
Darkblade.
I only have a minute or two.
Sensei always has the dominant king.
Namaste, Darkblade. Namaste, Darkblade.
Said, Jadox Q98.
Alright, Jadox. Hold on. Let's do it this way. I was very lucky in a lot of them. Oh no, Ron Hay was in the mix. Ron Hay was in the mix. Thank you, Ron, for the draw. He's usually taking advantage of me massively. And you won on time. So, interestingly enough, this is remarkably similar to Ding Liren's novelty against Nepo in Game 4, I believe, of their World Championship match. Might have been Game 3, but I don't think he had white in the first game. I think he had white in the even-numbered games. I enjoyed every minute of our position here. And I believe that I was probably winning. Right? And I didn't take the rook with check, and then take the pawn with check. Am I still winning? Yeah, I'm still totally winning this. That's the funny part. How funny am I winning this?
Len Nokyog said, "Yes, I totally blundered a piece trying to flag you."
Well, it worked. You did flag me. I refuse to do more than 50 minutes, though. I should be in time trouble in a vast majority of the games. I need to finish every one much earlier, and I should have taken the earlier draws for everyone that offered me a draw. Queen e7, and this was the right move. Rook takes f6 was the right move. Queen takes f6 was not the right move, eh?
You need to play like it's bullet time is misleading.
Probably knight e4. Yeah, knight e4, queen e6. Knight e4, queen e6, knight takes f7, check, queen takes f7, knight takes f6, knight takes e6.
Shaken, not stirred.
Mickey Miker said, "Hello, sir."
And you're just winning. You deserve to win, sir. Mickey Miker, how are you? Thank you for the follow.
Mickey
I will
Miker
take care of the gifted
said,
subs soon.
I'm hard stuck at 450 ELO.
So your
Len
three
Knock
questions, Mickey Miker, that you
said,
have to write down and you must
thanks.
internalize them
Mickey Miker
every time your opponent moves.
Any tips?
Yes, anytime your opponent moves, you must ask yourself, what is my opponent's big idea? What is my opponent's big idea? They are not trying to help you win. Okay? Basically, they're not trying to help you win. Anytime your opponent moves, you have to ask yourself, what's the opponent's big idea? So write that down on a sheet of paper 25 times. What's my opponent's big idea? What's my opponent's big idea?
Such a game felt okay to share the points and learn a little. Thanks.
No worries. Thank you, Ron.
Okay.
Also, go over the games of one classical player, either Lasker or Capablanca. One classical player. Basically, get the move-by-move everyman books and play through the games. Being able to play through both sides of the moves on a board, by the way, will force you to pay attention to the opponent's moves. It will absolutely force you to pay attention to the opponent's moves. I am going to send you over to my good friend, whom I met in Paris. We had dinner.
Look over the pros or someone just a bit over my ELO?
No, you should look at the best of the best because they have flawless pattern technique. Players below the best of the best tend to get distracted and may even teach you ADD. You'll have to DM me on the Discord. I don't necessarily feel so comfortable saying it on stream. But basically all lessons are by Zoom, more or less, and the training is fairly rigorous to a great extent. You're going to do a lot of stuff. You're going to do concentration games. You're going to do pattern recognition. You're going to do candidate moves, calculation, everything like that. But we also have to set you up with a routine tactical plan that does not involve just doing puzzle streak, which is also included. Puzzle streak is a good way of getting everything out. I don't think I can put this command in.
Len Nokyog said, "Sure, I will download Discord."
Yeah, Discord is the best place to message me. You can also message me on any of the other socials, Instagram, or I don't really check the messages on Twitter that much, so you could also, if you have the other socials.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. You're very helpful, sir.
You can message me on Discord or on Instagram, Twitter. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's roll those ending credits for those people that followed. And we will get our gifted subs out at the beginning of the next stream. Mickey Miker, Best Chess Player, Lennox JHG, Sprox, Kingslayer Sloan, Darkblade, Alexandra Semikanova, thank you for the raid. Ilias Plays Chess, thank you for the raid. Namaste, everyone. You are the best. Kingslayer Sloan, etc. Namaste, everyone. Cheers and ciao.